And I just wish yesterday, what went on yesterday did not happen.
Right now, a Memorial Day cookout is interrupted by gunfire. Hear from the woman who witnessed the incident firsthand.
Rain on the way, but when? When will those raindrops make it to the ground? I have the answer in just a couple minutes.
And hundreds of nurses at Unity Point Health Meriter are now on strike. What they want and the hospital's response. We welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. And good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. A frightening situation for a mother when a man fired a gun interrupting a Memorial Day cookout. Our
reporter Kyle Pozorski is in the area of Kennedy Heights speaking with the woman about what led to that gunfire.
There's still police tape here on the ground in this Northside apartment complex where last night, Memorial Day, a woman was grilling out for her children when a gunman showed up at her door.
I don't feel safe.
This is Shantae, a young mother and resident of Kennedy Heights Apartments, recalling for me the moment Monday's incident occurred.
I'm barbecuing, and I had barbecue yesterday because it was Memorial Day.
She says it was like any other holiday weekend until it wasn't.
And we chilling, and a man walked up, and he asked me, do I remember him? And I told him, no, I don't remember you. I don't know you at all. And then he started grabbing me.
Soon after, the situation escalating to the point that the unknown man pulled out a gun.
About time I tried to turn around and walk in, some told me to look over my shoulders, and I seen him pointing the gun at me. I jumped out the way.
The shot missed Shantae and her kids. However, one adult male was hit. Madison police reporting their officers were soon after called to Kennedy Heights, finding two men, both with gunshot wounds. One was treated at the scene, the other taken to a hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. While no one was killed, Shantae saying she's been left with more questions than answers about why this happened near her door.
I don't know. He just walked up out of nowhere.
Madison police say this was an isolated incident. On the north side, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. Madison police also say the department's violent crime unit is investigating. The 36-year-old shooter has been charged for negligent handling of a weapon and operating a firearm while intoxicated.
A man is recovering from a gunshot wound from over the weekend. Madison police say this incident started at Penn Park Sunday night. The victim alleges two men approached him, pulled out a gun. The man says he was shot as he tried to wrestle the gun away. The victim did not suffer life-threatening injuries. No arrests have been made. The investigation ongoing. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers or go online to p3tips.com. A 6-year-old is suffering injuries after shots were fired at the Harmony Apartments. That's a complex on the east side of Madison with a history of gun violence.
Our Maddie Heimsch brings us to the condition of what that child is and what police know so far about the incident.
That 6-year-old is in the hospital in critical condition, and an adult is arrested on gun-related charges following those shots fired Monday morning. The charges: second-degree recklessly endangering safety, neglect causing great bodily harm, and injury by negligent handling of a dangerous weapon. The man facing those charges was watching the children in the apartment at the time and legally owned the gun used by the 6-year-old. The man is now booked in the Dane County Jail. Madison Police Department Assistant Chief Angie Kamaski says the gun was not properly secured.
The child was able to obtain a gun that was in a holster but had been unsecured in the apartment and within reach of the child. So that child obtained the gun and unfortunately shot themselves with it.
Kamaski says there were two other children in the apartment at the time. Police say they've been consistent with weekly programming for families at the Harmony and routine check-ins with property management. Reporting on Madison's east side, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. We now know the identity of the man who died after a boat he was on flipped over on Lake Monona earlier this month. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says 25-year-old Colin Smith died after the sailboat he was on flipped over on Lake Monona. That was back on May 16th. After a week of searching, crews were able to locate his body this past Friday. Smith, one of 4 people on that sailboat. One person drifted to shore on the overturned sailboat, while Smith and 2 others tried to stay with a kayak that had been tied to the vessel. 2 of the people were later rescued from that kayak, but Smith was not wearing a life jacket and went missing.
And now to an update on a home explosion in the town of Springfield that killed 2 people last year. The Dane County Sheriff's Office confirms it was a gas explosion. Back on May 28th, Last year, an explosion leveled a home on Capitol View Road, killing 82-year-old Rudolph and Ursula Niedershauser. At the time, Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett said the fire set off ammunition inside the home, leading neighbors to hearing sounds that sounded like gunshots. Due to the extent of the damage to the home, investigators could not pinpoint exactly where the gas came from. And because of that, the cause of fire was labeled as undetermined. Now, chances for rain later tonight as well. Now, turning to weather, we have Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington on that patio. Gorgeous out there right now.
It's beautiful. It's been beautiful all weekend, beautiful Memorial Day. We even snuck in a beautiful day today because the skies have been partly sunny. The rain has struggled to make it into southern Wisconsin, leaving us mild and partly sunny. But there is rain on radar 3000 west of the Mississippi River, and it's going to stay west for at least another couple more hours as we go towards midnight, still hugging the Mississippi River. Eventually, those raindrops are going to make it into the rest of southern Wisconsin, especially on Wednesday. A good chance for rain across all of southern Wisconsin. And then we got another chance of rain on Friday. And coming up in Maine weather, we're going to use Future Track to look at both of those chances of rain. That's part of the 3 things you need to know. Rain after midnight, a wet Wednesday, chilly too, and those rain chances continue as we go on into Thursday and into Friday. Still very mild out here in the patio, upper 60s right around 70 in southern Wisconsin. We got 68 in Madison, 70 to the south down towards the Edgerton and Stoughton area, and 70 to the west on the Highway 14 if you're heading west towards the Wisconsin River Valley. Clouds again on the increase tonight as temperatures fall down into the 50s, and in Maine weather we'll use Future Track to show you how much water you can expect out of Wednesday's rain. That's in just a couple of moments.
All right, Alex, thank you. Hundreds of nurses at Unity Point Health Meriter walked off the job this morning after the union and the hospital had multiple bargaining sessions fall through.
This morning, News 3 Now's Jalen Banks attended the press conference held by the union after the strike started. Take a look.
The union representing the nurses of Unity Point Health Meriter started their strike Tuesday morning after several failed bargaining sessions with the hospital.
Who will fight for our patients? Who will? We will! Who will? We will!
Hundreds of nurses walked off the job at Meriter Hospital today and were joined by state Democrats Ben Wickler, Melissa Agard, and Diane Hesselbein. The union and the hospital are still at odds after a last-minute meeting never happened. Nurses say the hospital's latest offer doesn't address their concerns about staffing, safety, or burnout.
There's more than one union hospital in Madison, but there are very few. We are trying to hold the line for compensation, for safety, for policies that support nurses, and we hope that what we are doing here is going to impact nurses in our whole area.
After the union announced its plans to strike last week, a representative from Meriter told News 3 the healthcare provider has approached negotiations in good faith and that the hospital will stay open during the strike.
They might try to turn their back on working people, but this courageous group of folks right here and the hundreds and thousands of people that are going to support and march with you on the picket line, you're going to be loud enough that no matter how far they try to turn their back, they will still have to hear you. They will still have to come back to the negotiating table, and they will have to do what's right.
A bargaining session is scheduled for Thursday. If the two parties cannot reach an agreement, the strike will continue through Saturday evening. For now, reporting in Madison, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Jalen, thank you. The hospital says they have hired travel nurses for now to keep the hospital operational.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court is suspending a Dane County judge after a complaint brought by the Wisconsin Judicial Commission. The commission alleged Judge Ellen Burrs violated multiple parts of the Code of Judicial Ethics and then admitted to those violations. 2 incidents are referenced, one in 2019 where Judge Burrs allegedly used sarcasm toward a defendant and admonished him for asking to move a trial date. Then in 2021, Judge Burrs allegedly directed a bailiff to leave her courtroom and arrest a defendant who missed a court appearance because they were in the hospital. When the bailiff said they couldn't go, Judge Burrs allegedly said she would go to the hospital and arrest the person herself. Judge Burrs will be suspended without pay starting June 26th. Coming up, a flight to Madison gets delayed by some feathered freeloaders.
Still ahead, we'll hear from one man who was aboard the flight with these passenger pigeons. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. A flight from Minneapolis to Madison was delayed about an hour to get rid of some hitchhikers.
Yeah, no one gets on without a ticket, right? And that includes some birds. Armand Rahman tracked down one of the passengers on that flight who watched it all happen.
When you're sitting in the plane on the runway and your flight gets delayed, it can be easy to feel a little pigeonholed. But for some passengers headed to Madison over the Memorial Day weekend, that happened quite literally.
One person said, well, is this the sequel to Snakes on a Plane?
But instead of Samuel L. Jackson and snakes,
I've had it with these snakes on this plane.
Tom Caw had it with another animal.
I thought there can't be a pigeon on the plane.
Sure enough, it was on his Delta flight at Minneapolis International Airport Saturday. They had to go back to the gate to have the stowaway removed, but birds of a feather flock together. They got back out on the runway.
Someone said, there's another pigeon on the plane.
And what followed was a cinematic wild goose chase.
It was walking down the aisle, and then someone lunged for it, and it took flight, and it flew through the cabin to the front, turned around, flew back. The woman next to me was screaming. She didn't know what it was.
They had to circle back to the gate again.
Somebody on the plane said, just throw them out the window. And I said, ma'am, we can't open a window on this plane.
At that point, the flight attendant was hoping they could have killed two birds with one stone.
Attention all passengers, would you please check under your seats and in your carry-on bags to see if there are any other birds on this plane? And everyone laughed. But then she said, okay, it's funny, but seriously, please check.
It delayed the flight an hour, but Tom says everyone was in good spirits, well, except the pigeons.
I think they wanted snacks, but they didn't know that the flight from Minneapolis, St. Paul to Madison is so short there's no beverage or snack service, so the joke was on them.
Reporting in Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Now, Delta Airlines said in a statement that they, quote, appreciate the careful actions of our people and our customers to safely remove two birds from the aircraft prior to departure. And we apologize to our customers for the delay in their travel. Quite a story.
And glad no one was hurt.
Up next, one of Madison's most debated events prepares for yet another ride.
Plus, how the bond between a Wisconsin teenager and her border collie is taking both of them to the world stage. And also, how much rain are we expecting to get this week? Alex has the answer in the forecast.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The 97th Scripps National Spelling Bee underway in Maryland, and of the 240 spellers competing, 2 are from Madison. Today, Ethan Robert and Jacob Martinito competed in the preliminary rounds. While Ethan was able to make it into the quarterfinals, Jacob just missed out. The finals are set for Thursday, and all finalists get a monetary prize plus other perks. The winner will receive $50,000 cash, the official Scripps Cup trophy, and much more.
Good luck to them. And meanwhile, a Wisconsin teenager will be competing on the world stage this summer. 15-year-old Addison Connolly and her 6-year-old border collie Cooper have been training for agility dog shows since the pandemic. Now that training is paying off. Check it out. After dominating at the state level, Addison and Cooper punched their ticket to Portugal this summer, where they'll represent the U.S. at the Agility World Championships.
Very much a dream come true. I definitely broke into tears. I was very excited. A lot of patience and just really learning how to understand and work with a partner that you can't, speak true words to.
The AKC Junior Handler Open Agility World Championship runs from July 9th through the 13th in Portugal. Addison is one of 24 competitors representing Team USA and the only one from Wisconsin.
Incredible. Good stuff. All right, a controversial event set to return to Madison this summer. It is the 15th World Naked Bike Ride. It is set for June 21st. The event came under fire from lawmakers back in 2023 after a 10-year-old girl participated. A state assembly committee approved a pair of bills that year barring minors from the event and making it a crime to intentionally expose oneself. Those measures never became law. Well, maybe an umbrella with you tomorrow. Alex returns. A look at what could be a rainy Wednesday, Alex.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be the, excuse me, frog in my throat there. It's going to be the rainiest day of the week is going to be Wednesday. Widespread showers, maybe a clap or two of thunder. And I don't want to lose sight of Thursday going on into Friday. There is a chance that we could see a shower or a thunderstorm on Friday as well. But Wednesday's going to be the rainy one here. Radar 3000 out towards Prairie du Chien here. A couple showers west of the Mississippi River. And then eventually they're going to struggle to make it to the east. But by the time we get into the early morning hours, 6 o'clock in the morning, eyeing up Dells to Madison, down to Janesville, some showers over southwest Wisconsin, then becoming more widespread as we carry forth through the day. We all stand the chance, as I like to say, of getting wet, but there may be a dry time or two throughout the daytime on Wednesday, with those showers becoming less prevalent as we go a little bit later into Wednesday. The showers go away, but they do come back on Thursday going on into Friday. How much water? I promised a quarter, maybe half inch. This isn't looking like that big soaking rain that we had just about a week ago, but all those drops add up and they do help to put a little bit of a dent drop by drop in dry and drought conditions. 50s tonight for low temperatures because we'll have the clouds. It helps keep the lows up just a little bit, and high temperatures as we go on into Wednesday in the upper 50s to the lower 60s out there. Could be upper 50s if we have more in the way of shower activity. If we get a little break activity, then the temperatures will rise up just a bit into the 60s. Got a 68 in Madison, 68 in the Dells, 68 in Boscobel. Here in Dane County, we even still sneak in a couple 70s out to the west towards Verona and out towards the Sauk City area on the other side of the Wisconsin River. Planning our evening tonight down into the 60s, then into the 50s when you join us at 10. 50s in the middle part of the early morning hours, and then those raindrops will start to take hold. Part of the three things, we've got scattered showers Wednesday, the rain after midnight tonight, and that rain chance Thursday going into Friday. Don't want to lose sight of that. As I mentioned, Thursday afternoon, some pop-up showers, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. That goes away with the heat of the day. And then as we go into Friday, a couple more pop-up showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two, as a cold front tries to make its way to the south. So we've got our rain chance on Wednesday, that pop-up shower chance on Thursday going on into Friday with that cold front, and then a stretch of dry weather. A little bit further out into the future, temperatures getting into the 80s, lows in the 60s. That could be a stormy period for parts of southern Wisconsin, and that is supported by the Climate Prediction Center painting green over the upper Midwest. So good chances that we might actually be above normal in the water department as we go a little bit further out into June. And the reason why, we've had high pressure dominating the scene. High pressure usually means quiet weather, partly sunny weather, and then that's going to scoot off towards the east. And as that does so, I'll get out of the way here, that allows what's called return flow, moisture coming off the Gulf into the upper Midwest, and that brings us those better chances for rain as we go a little bit further out into June. And with us having abnormally dry conditions to drought conditions in parts of the area, we'll take all those drops, as I like to say, and at 10 I'll give us a glimpse in the next 10 days how much water we can expect.
Great for everything I planted over the weekend.
Yes, everything that's planted. We'll take the drink tomorrow. We'll take the drinks that we can give them in the next 10 days.
Thanks, Alex.
Alex, thank you. We need those fairways green. We got some big golf coming to our area.
Hard to believe it's that time of year again. Just 10 days, the AmFam Championship tees off. Steve Stricker, well, he's gearing up for the tournament. Why the player host says the new format will bring even more excitement and lower scores this year to Madison. That's next on News 3 Now. In 10 days, the AmFam Championship will tee off for the first time at TPC Wisconsin. And not only will it be a brand new course for Steve Stricker, Jerry Kelly, and the other legends of golf to play, but the format is also brand new. This year, the three-day tourney will feature partners playing together with hopes of splitting the $600,000 prize, something the 2023 champ says will bring even more excitement to the links.
It offers us a little bit of a change of pace as players go, and even for the fans. You know, they've seen for 9 years, you know, just an individual event. Now they're going to come here this year and see a team event. I think they'll see the players having a little bit more fun, a lot more laughs, having some good times with it. Low scores for sure. There'll be a lot of birdies made, which is always very exciting, and hopefully we have a good tight finish.
To no surprise, it's another stacked non-conference slate for Kelly Sheffield and company before they even get to Big Ten play, with 5 matches against top 25 teams from a season ago. It begins with the opening Spike Classic, where Wisconsin will host Kansas and Texas over Labor Day. Then later, UW will visit Georgia Tech in an NCAA tournament rematch. Of course, there's the trip to Pfizer to take on Marquette, and they'll close it out with a bang when Florida comes to town on September 21st. Well, to the ice we go, where Hillary Knight will need to make some room in her trophy case after leading the United States to a Women's World Championship title and her 10th gold medal. Knight was named USA Hockey's Bob Allen Women's Player of the Year. It's the former Badgers' 3rd time winning the award and the 4th straight year a Badger has won it. And Madison College baseball currently playing in the quarterfinals of the Division II Junior College World Series. The Wolfpack taking on top-seeded Pasco Hernando State. This one in the 6th, Madison College needing a rally. They're down 9-3.
We'll see if they can make a comeback there. Zach, thank you. Coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 10, Madison police call the shots fired at the Harmony Apartments on Monday, leaving a 6-year-old in critical condition, a, quote, isolated incident. Our Maddie Himes brings us to the apartment complex and speaks to residents there, what they make of this latest gun violence plaguing the Harmony. Again, that's tonight, News 3 Now at 10.
And now a final check at our forecast. Some rain coming soon.
Slowly trying to creep its way into the air. It's a bit dry out there, so it's struggling right now. But eventually those rain showers will make it into the area. Rain showers out to the west of the Mississippi River. Eventually we'll try to sneak a couple of those showers in by the early morning hours of Wednesday. But the better rain chances are going to line up for about 6 a.m. on Wednesday through about 6 p.m. Wednesday. Good chances for rain, about a quarter, maybe a half inch. Coming up, though, tonight at 10, we'll talk about the 10-day precipitation forecast and how much water you can expect over the next 10 days.
All right, Alex, thanks. And thanks for watching News 3 Now at 6. Coming up next is Entertainment Tonight.
And our next newscast is coming up at 10, and you can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.